Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. We are recording together and we're homeless because it's football Sunday.
We look like shit, and it's fine.
And surprisingly, our champagne tastes like shit. So
yep, that is a thing too.
We're still gonna do it though.
We just had a nacho bar for football Sunday. Who knew nachos were so filling? Because we are so food coma tired and cannot even get a grip.
Also, if you're not having a nacho bar, you should do it because I didn't realize it was gonna be this good. I was just like, oh, this sounds like a fun idea. And it worked out really well.
It did, except we're so full.
Yes. Don't have a second plate of nachos. That is the trick.
Yep.
It's been forever, I feel like, since we recorded together. Taylor loves the champagne.
It's not good. It tastes like cleaner.
But you just got married.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it.
Yeah, so our wedding was really great. I'm so glad it's over, but it was good. There was a lot of stuff I wasn't necessarily happy with in regards to bartender.
Like vendors.
Yeah, vendors definitely sucked. Morbetta's apparently forgot teriyaki sauce. The bartenders blew. My photographer got COVID. Still don't have pictures back. Also, so it's a whole thing, but
let's talk about the bartenders for a second. That was really frustrating. These bartenders, you guys, first of all, showed up in costume. One of them did. They were both supposed to be in a costume. Only one was in a witch costume.
Which I think is a cute idea, but
fine.
It was executed poorly. The costume looked like trash. It looked like a trashy Ariel Little Mermaid wig that she was wearing that needed to be like brushed out. Like it wasn't a cute costume.
Sorry, you reminded me.
It wasn't cute.
I just remembered. I remember being startled the first time I like walked up, being like, "What the fuck?" Like her wig was bad. Her teeth were not great, and they didn't put the menu out, so no one knew what there was to offer. So Taylor had all this alcohol that she planned, and like no one had any idea what to get, and they were just savage. And honestly, I think they were like on something at this point.
Yeah, I definitely would not be surprised if marijuana, possibly cocaine, possibly prescription pills were involved with them, because
and they were drinking her rosé on
yeah, and it was just very interesting and very frustrating because they were recommended to me by somebody at the yoga studio, and they gave me like a good deal because of this person, but like I definitely could have found somebody way better.
I could have done better.
Yeah. We could have poured our own drinks and it would have been fine.
We could have just put them all out on the counter and people would have been fine.
Yeah,
that was interesting. No, it was a really pretty wedding. It was a fun time. Definitely don't love weddings though.
I definitely feel the same. Like I'm glad that we did it because it is like a fun memory.
Yeah.
But like if I could go back,
I wouldn't
do it again.
I'm totally down to be a completely third party invited to your wedding. Like let me come celebrate love because I love celebrating love. But when you're like in the meat and potatoes of it,
it's a lot. It's
like so stressful for the people planning it. It's stressful because there's always drama. It's stressful because there's just like no one's ever satisfied, and it costs a lot of freaking money.
Yeah.
And so it's like when you're in the know, it's just kind of like, is this worth it? But if you're just showing up and you get to wear a fancy dress and there's an open bar and you get to have food and celebrate people, 1000% invite me to all those weddings.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was so expensive and like
more than you thought it would be.
Oh, so much more. And like a big part of it was our debt, because that is included in our wedding budget, and that was 3 times the price that we thought it would be. So yeah, it definitely was a lot more than we expected, but it was really fun to have like my family all in one place, friends all in one place. Like I love situations that everybody I care about and love is in one place.
Well, and they're there for you.
Yeah. So that was exciting, and like having my stepdad and my uncle walk me down the aisle was so special for both of them, that like that was really important for me. And like my nieces and nephews, Henley, they were all the kids were so excited. And so that's a beautiful memory. And like our vows were really sweet. Like I loved our vows. So there's beautiful moments, but would I do it again? No, absolutely not. If I could go back in time, would I do it? No, absolutely not. So
I mean, I think that's just kind of how it goes though. Like you never know until you go through it. Like people, no matter who tells you what about anything in life, until you like, if you want to do something and you think you still want to do it and you do it, you will never know or look back and be like,
Mhm.
fuck, I wish I wouldn't have done that. You know, like
Yeah.
people have to go through things on their own.
Mhm.
Like you couldn't just listen to someone and be like, oh, they're right. But you have like little instincts over and over again being like, should we be fucking doing
Yeah,
this?
yeah, 100%. So yeah, it was good. I'm glad that it forced us to get our yard done because having that done has been really nice.
Oh yeah,
But
that's for sure a perk. Also, your dress was absolutely gorgeous.
yeah, yeah, my dress was
What do you
fun.
do about that now? Like, you gotta wear it
I
again.
know. I don't
It's so
know what I'm
pretty,
gonna do. I have
especially
no
because it's not
idea.
white. I feel
Yeah.
like you could pull it off another time.
Yeah. Well, our friend Tanya's having like a farewell to her
Yes.
20s birthday party.
Wear it.
So I think I'm gonna wear that because it's like funeral clothes. So
I actually
I feel like
really
I'll wear
like my
that.
dress too.
Your dress is so
It
pretty.
did get really dirty though in your yard, so I was thinking this is the one like bridesmaid dress that I'm like, I think I want to have this one cleaned so that I can like wear it again because it's really cute.
Yeah. No, you and my sisters, your guys' dresses were so pretty. And I'm really excited to get the pictures back to see them like all together because they were really pretty.
For
So
sure. It was definitely fun. I'm glad it happened. I'm glad it's over.
I'm so glad it's over.
And if you're in my friend, like close friend group,
Please don't have a wedding for like 2 years.
if you're getting married soon, I'm not involved.
Yeah, Tony and I realized how much we actually really hate weddings. Like even being a guest, I don't love. Like I'll be completely
I think it
honest. I
depends how
just am
close
not
you
a
are
wedding
into the
gift
mix.
person.
You don't like enjoy like just showing up and like I don't have any examples for you right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it just I guess any wedding that I've been to, I've been a part of, and you're right, like it is really stressful. Like Christina's, my two sisters, like I was all a part of their weddings, and it's a lot. Like I guess I've never been to a non-Mormon wedding that I'm not a part of.
There's one that sticks out in my mind that's our friend Josh and Brandy, and their wedding will go down in like wedding history for me. I had the best time. Wally and I got to get dressed up. We showed up. It was like open bar. It was like so many fun people that we love, and we just had so much fun. And like we weren't involved in any of the chaos. It was just like hang out and get drunk with your friends.
Yeah, see,
and like look cute.
I think I would enjoy that aspect. Yeah. I guess my uncle's wedding I wasn't a part of, and that was really fun. Yeah, but that also didn't feel like a wedding. It was kind of like how mine was, like just like a backyard get together. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a wedding person at all. At all.
Well, I think it was great. I have a bunch of stuff that I want to talk about, but we have a bigger topic today, and I don't want to go into them because I'll take a lot of time. But the one thing that I do want to bring up on my list, I'm getting sunspots on my arms.
No.
You can see them. Like I used to always just kind of think that they were like more freckles and stuff, but it's worse when I sit out in the sun. Like,
look
oh,
like
this
freckles,
one's bigger, but like my grandma used to always be like, you're gonna hate having sunspots. Like once you get old, you're gonna be like, oh, my gross skin. And like I never had really, to me, it didn't bother me. And then the other day I was in the sun and my arm was like in my window in my car. See, this one's big. And when I'm in the sun, they get bigger. And I looked down and I was like, oh my God, I'm aging again.
Can we
It's just another sign
talk
of aging.
about how much aging sucks?
Yes.
Like people do not talk about this enough, and not just like what, like, oh my gosh, I'm getting wrinkles, like I need Botox. Like, no, you feel run down, you feel tired. You can't have a fucking 2 plates of nachos without dying. Like
so true.
It's so like aging is so hard, and people don't appreciate how hard it is.
And I feel like it hits you the second you hit 30, all of a sudden, like slowly each year, something else happens. And it's like funny because I make fun of Wally all the time because he's older than me. But also, I think his brain activity is just not as alert as his brain connectivity.
Guys age more gracefully than girls do, for sure. I think.
But he'll just like do some stuff. I'm like, oh my God, you're so old. You need like hearing aids, like all these things. And I keep thinking like, oh my God, this could be me. Like, but it's interesting, like seeing those sunspots and being like, oh wow, my grandma was right. These do really show up, and they will take over my entire arms. And I need to find a space where I just love and embrace like all of these are memories of me being concerned. But for now I'm kind of like, oh shit.
I think it's just shocking because I don't feel like we're that old. Like 33 in the grand scheme of things is really not that old. So when old things happen to me, I'm like, what the hell? Like I'm not this old. Like sunspots, gray hair, I'm expecting to have in my 40s, but not in my 30s. Like it's just shocking to me.
Yeah, I think it really just is it's just a testament to like how healthy you really are as a person. And that's like
Mhm.
what keeps reminding me is like I need to take care of like what am I putting in my body? Be more aware of like the poisons in the freaking food we're eating, because that's a whole other thing we
Yeah,
could talk
that
about.
is. That is.
But it just helps me have this like bigger perspective of like I need to take care of me, because if I want to have like a healthy, prosperous life and not have my health decline, like I gotta get my shit together.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I don't know. I'm sad about my sunspots. I'm sad about my ear wrinkles. And
gosh.
I don't know. It's
I'm
just weird.
sad about my sight. I'm getting to the point that I'm like, I just told Tony 2 days ago, I was like, I really need to go to the eye doctor. Like, I can't see things unless they're like further away. Like,
Oh,
if
wow.
things are close, I cannot see them. And then
Do you wear glasses?
I wear just blue light glasses, but I used to just need them like every now and then, just like for headaches when I look at the computer. But now I can't watch TV without them. I can't be on my phone after dark without them. Like, I get these terrible headaches.
Well, it's probably because you are used to also wearing them, and so
Mhm.
your brain's probably like, hey, don't. Here's the thing too. The more you stare at screens, the worse it gets. But also,
Mhm.
the higher your stress levels are, the more that things like that are going to be triggered. Like
Yeah.
your vision's going to be like, girl, we don't have the space to like be okay with this.
Mhm.
So that's the thing too.
Well, I don't even know if you know this little known fact about me. I have a lazy eye.
So do I.
But like, no, like I can barely see out of this eye. And so I am technically supposed to do like a patching thing that like I patch my good eye so that my brain has to use like my lazy eye so it doesn't go full lazy. So I do, you can't tell, but I cannot see, like I can barely see out of this, my right eye, if you're not watching on
I'm just saying,
YouTube,
you and
but
Tony both should get LASIK. It was so nice to get that.
I don't think I could be awake with
Now
a
we're
laser coming to my eye.
Xanax, and you just like you don't even like it's stressful, but like they just put this thing over your eye, and then it's like it was a minute and a half.
Literally, it's making my heart race thinking about that being a thing.
You'll be saying that when we're in Mexico drunk and I can see everything and do everything, and you're like, help me, I can't see anything.
Where are my glasses?
No, it is, I don't know. Visions, losing your senses is something that
It's
I'm
really
actually really
stressful.
stressed about.
Yeah, it's stressful. So yeah, that's where I'm at in my aging process. I did get some Botox though, and I'm feeling great about that. So
Got for you.
I'm glad too. She did wonderful.
I actually forgot about that. Oh, another exciting thing for you guys. Sorry if you're hearing my clanging. I'm pouring champagne. We're getting tattoos in a couple hours.
Yeah.
Some more little tiny tattoos. We have the best girl if you need to go to someone and get a fine line tattoo, which is like you should not be getting anything but fine line at this point.
Yeah, honestly.
But yeah, we're getting those later today. We have a very busy day. We had a very busy weekend. We went to the pumpkin patch for like 5+ hours. Taylor and Tony slept over, which was super fun, except for they all fell asleep and I got scared watching the Haunted Mansion, the new one. It's very scary. I have not finished it. And then we had football Sunday this morning, and then I have volleyball games. They're gonna come cheer me on, and then we're getting tattoos.
And we're looking like this all day.
It's fine. Our 16 viewers on YouTube appreciate it.
Real life is here.
Okay, so our topic today, which ties into the whole like paying attention to your health thing, is we wanted to talk to you guys about the last 90 days. We had an episode about it from our first year of having the podcast and needed to delete that episode for various reasons. So we now want to re-record. We'll probably talk about this almost every year, I would say, and probably next year we'll even do another episode about it. But we don't have one to reshare with you guys, so we want to give you the basics, and we'll probably give you the basics every year. So the last 90 days. The last 90 days is a concept that we became familiar with because of Rachel Hollis, because we're her stans, and she does this in her like, I don't know, it's her branding, it's her thing. I don't know what you would call it.
Yeah.
But basically, where it's the last 90 days of the year and you like heavily have this intention of focusing on the last 90 days. And in the last 90 days, because it's the last 90 days of the year, she also came up with this thing called 5 to Thrive. Is it hers officially, or did she take it from someone?
I don't know, to be honest. I want to say it's hers officially.
So Taylor will explain a little bit about both of them really quick.
Okay, so the last 90 days starts on October 1st, and it goes because October 1st is 90 days until the end of the year. So the point of doing the last 90 days is to set up a good foundation going into the new year so that you're not going into January being like, oh, I want to do all these things. Like you already have a good foundation. So the 5 to thrive is, and these are not in any particular order, but the first one is water. So that's drinking half of your body weight in ounces of water a day. So there's a ton of calculators online if you don't know how to figure this out. But basically, if you weigh 200 pounds, you drink 100 ounces of water a day. So you just kind of figure out that math based off of your body weight. The next one is movement. So try to get at least 30 minutes of movement in every day. The movement can kind of look like however you want it to look like. Number 3 is get up 1 hour earlier than you usually do. Number 4, give up one category of food. And number 5 is gratitude daily.
So what I would say with that too, so I just looked it up. I don't have confirmation that it's Rachel Hollis's thing, but I think it is because there's other concepts called 5 to Thrive, but they're around like parenting and other stuff. And then people have kind of taken on to this 5 to Thrive that she has done. So I feel like it comes from her.
Yeah.
And when we first started doing it or heard about it, I would say that we were still learning how to build habits. I don't think that we had officially built any like that were steady. And so this concept to us was like super fascinating because we were like, oh, I think I could do this. And honestly, the 5 to Thrive things are actually pretty easy to do. Like if you focus on just these 5 things in the last 90 days, then I feel like you're gonna be pretty successful because they're not that hard. One of the notes that we had posted too in our previous years on the podcast page was it takes 21 days to build a habit and 90 days to make it a lifestyle. And so I think that's why it's important to think about that too, is like the last 90 days, like 90 days really does go by so fast.
It does,
like we're already halfway through October this week, it feels like. By next Sunday, it'll be halfway over. And if you think about it, like if it only takes 21 days to start building that habit, and then by the time you're at the 90 days, the end of the year, it's just who you are. And we've gotten to more of a place where I think that this is just kind of who we are. Like there'll be days where I don't drink as much water sometimes, or I get off track with my gratitude journal, but like my mental state is still heavily in this. I would say.
I don't put my gratitude every day. I don't write it down every day, but I am being grateful every day.
Yeah.
Like whether I'm saying that out loud or thinking it like, wow, I'm so grateful for X, Y, and Z. Like, do I write it down every day anymore? No, I don't. I wish that I did. I just don't for some reason, but I do definitely practice gratitude every single day.
Another note that I have, and I think that I actually was listening to one of Rachel's podcasts, and she kind of pointed this out because the last 90 days is coming out. So I'm not saying this is me saying this. I think I really got it from her. But or maybe it was a Peloton ride, something like that. I'm saying it from either of those two. That's where I get all my shit. Or the internet. But what they had said, I swear to God, it had to have been Rachel. It says the point is to be mindful of it, think about it, have awareness, and don't just let days slip away. And that's why the last 90 days are so important, because like I was just saying, it really goes by so fucking fast, especially when you add the holidays in. Like once things start getting, like, for some weird reason, I actually don't have anything on my schedule in November. We should fix that. But it's weird. Like, if I have stuff on my calendar, like right now, October is a blur. Like it's gonna be over before I know it. And if I am not intentional and I'm not thinking about what I'm going to do to set myself up, then it's just not gonna be worth it. Another thing that she had said too, when she was talking about like, hey, it's coming up on this, she was just saying like, start working on next year now. Like, why is everyone always waiting until, oh, the first of the year and next year, this is what I'm going to focus on? Why not just start now? And I think that that's kind of the concept with her start today branding stuff too, is like, just start today. Every single day, just start and try something new. But I don't know, to me, the last 90 days, it kind of puts a little like, it's like a kick in the ass to me, where I'm kind of like, oh shit, like this is the last quarter of the year. What am I gonna do to like finish strong? Or am I gonna waste away and just become like someone that's at every holiday party just getting drunk and like losing every ounce of habits that I have? Like, I don't ever want to be that person. I think in my 20s, I was for sure like every day was just slipping away and I had no intention of my days, my weeks, my months, nothing. It was just like, I'm just here to live life. Where's the boxed wine?
Where's the friends? I think that is important to say, is like, if you do have something to focus on every day, you're definitely more present and intentional with every day.
Yeah.
And I think being present in your life is so, so important and something that a lot of people are missing.
I think for me, again, it comes back to this whole aging thing. Like, I guess maybe this is something I'm realizing more in my old age, is what I'm gonna call my 30s, is I feel like I'm noticing more and more like how quickly time is going, and how if I'm not intentional about the people I'm with and the way I'm spending my days and how I feel health wise, then it could all be gone so easily, and I can just not have memories, and I cannot think about it. Like, all the time I'm telling Wally, like, get off of your phone. And I know I'm on my phone, but mine's just very, very different. His is like time warp. Men, I think, just process in different ways too. Like, if he's playing a game or he's scrolling on Instagram, he can't hear or think or do anything else. It's just like he's zeroed in. And he's like locked in for long periods, and I'm more of like, oh, here's this quick thing, and then I'm done and I'm away from it. But I've started to notice, and like I noticed when I took my little like drinking cleanse, how much even just having alcohol can change how you feel about your day, or how you're remembering your memories and how present you are. Like, there's times where we'll like have such a fun time, and then I look back and I'm like, how much of this am I really like present for though?
Yeah.
Because of alcohol, or because I was on my phone, or because I was stressed, or because like all of these different things. Like my sister Christina's wedding, the percentage I'd give myself of being present, I don't even know, because there was so much stress and so much alcohol that it's like I was there.
What happened? Yeah.
I was there, and I have memories, and I have a lot of stress around it, but like, how much was me being present with the people I was with? I don't know. I just don't want to keep living life that way.
Yeah,
I
I
guess.
totally agree with that. I totally
As
agree.
I sip on my champagne.
That tastes like soap.
0 out of 10 would recommend this one.
Yeah.
Not sure what
Pashini.
we've had this before. We had it at our podcast party. This is the one we bought when we did yoga in the park.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that tastes very different than I remember.
Maybe it's a bad one though.
Maybe.
Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, not a fan.
But no, so the last 90 days, I'm not doing great so far. So as we're recording today, it's October 8th. I've been partially intentional, but it's more of my lifestyle. Like, I've created a lifestyle, so I haven't had to think super hard about certain things, but I know there's some that I'm like, I need to focus a little bit more on this. But like, my lifestyle habits are already there for the most part, so it's been kind of easy for me to like dick around about it, but I need to like step it up. We're also leaving on vacation on Thursday, so that's going to be a bit challenging.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Again, there's 90 days. We still have time. One of the notes I have is, where is it? It's in my tips. You don't have to hit 100% perfection. So like, if you have a day where you don't hit your 5 to thrive, or you have a weekend or a week because it's just not working out, like, that is okay. You don't have to hit 100% perfection. You should at least be trying to hit like a
80,
water
20,
goal. Yeah, like a water goal or something. Make sure you write in your journal, like at least hit a couple of them each day if you can. But even if you don't, like, again, start the next day. Like, start over. It doesn't matter. No one's judging you besides yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
And maybe me. Just
Yeah.
kidding.
I feel like the 5 to thrive is a really, really good starting point to give you like a solid foundation, and then you can kind of fine tune it in how you want to once you have that solid foundation.
Another thing too. So one of the notes, these are notes that we had already shared when we did this this episode last time. One of the tips that we had posted was, if drinking water is new, like, set yourself up for success and get a new cup. Like, I just got this new Starbucks cup. I will always have these full of water with me. And when I have this, I'm drinking my water. If I do not have a cup with me, I'm not drinking water, even if it's like from my kitchen. So find something that you know you'll use and you'll carry around with you that's transportable. Like, the Stanley cups are too fucking heavy. I'm getting carpal tunnel. I don't want to be this stereotype person. Like, I don't like them. I don't think they're that cute. They're heavy.
Like Stanley's,
Their straw is too wide. Like, I'm not trying to suck anyone off right now. Sorry, I'm just sassy lately. Sorry, Taylor's mom. Anyways, the straw's too big and I just don't enjoy them. But find something that you like and keep it with you. Fill it up before you leave the house. Like, take it with you to work. If you have it on your desk, fill it up when it runs out. When I like literally drive to take Henley to school, I'm already like, oh, do I need water? Am I going to be really thirsty during that period? Because now I crave water.
I do too.
But if you don't set yourself up for a habit like that, or set yourself up with like intention, you're going to fail. So make sure you're doing stuff that's going to help you. Get a notebook so that you can do journaling or gratitude journals, like whatever you want to do. Because you don't have to just do the gratitude journal like we always talk about. You could just journal and do mindfulness. Like, do something that's just making you have that mind body intentionality, I guess.
Yeah. And like with waking up an hour earlier, I am the queen of hating to wake up in the morning. I despise waking up early. I know. I should.
So I really want to sleep a little bit too. I've been sleeping in a lot more.
But you don't have to jump in and wake up an hour earlier right away. Like, wake up 5 minutes earlier. Once you get comfortable with that 5 minutes, move it to 10 minutes earlier. Like, build up these habits. Not wait tomorrow, set your alarm at 6 o'clock when you're used to waking up at 8. Like, you will fail if you jump in like that.
And also make a plan for what you're going to do when you wake up early. If you don't have a plan of what you're going to do, you're going to wake up and be like, why did I wake up? So be like, am I going to write in my journal? Am I going to, like, I love to wake up and like clean my kitchen. I do the dishes. I put away the dishes in the dishwasher. I take my pre-workout. I clean up and tidy the house so that it's just like ready for the day. I make Henley's lunch, and like no one's awake and the house is so peaceful and it's like heaven. I turn on a little bit of music, but do what like you want to do. Like, if it's working out, if that's when you're gonna get your movement in, I don't know, but don't wake up and be like,
what do? I woke up an hour earlier.
Your alarm's gonna go off and you're gonna be like, I have nothing to do. I'm going back to sleep, and you'll go back to sleep. So be intentional about it. Another one that we have as a tip is to make sure you have a plan and write it out on either your phone, your calendar, write it and like have it around your house or something. But like, you have to plan these things out. Plan your workout, plan your weeks. Like, on this day, I'm going to go on this walk. I know I have this busy day, so I'm not going to wake up and do this. Like, whatever your days are going to look like, write them out and put them in either in your calendar, a note, a notebook, and like post it somewhere so you can see it. And same with the 5 to Thrive. Like, write out the 5 to Thrive steps if this is new for you. And then just like see it. Like, oh, I need to, like, on my computer, on my fridge, in my bathroom mirror, I need to like remember that I'm working on these things. Otherwise, you're going to forget.
And use it to create a routine. Like, if we're using movement for an example, I know that on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, those are my weight days. Tuesdays and Thursdays are my cardio. The weekends, I can kind of do whatever I feel like doing. But knowing that I have this structure every week, and like, it's not like Mondays I always do legs, Wednesdays I always do arms. Like, I'll do, if I wake up Monday and I'm like, oh, I want to do upper body today, but it's always the strength training days on those days. So really just creating your routine based off of these habits is very helpful long term.
No, and like, if you have to use your brain in that moment to be like, okay, so what am I going to do today? Your brain is going to default back to the farthest you've gone. It's going to be like, we don't do this. We eat snacks, or we go to sleep, or we sit and watch TV. It's going to default to what you're comfortable with and not what you're uncomfortable with. So it's never going to be like for me, I know for sure if I don't make myself do like a strength workout, I will go downstairs to work out. I'll just do cardio and I'll be like, that was
good enough.
But I have to start and be like, what strength workout am I doing today? And if I don't push the button to do the strength, I will not do it because I don't like to do it. I don't want to do it. It's not a habit. It's something that I'm irritated about. And then my default is, I'm comfortable with cardio. Let's do cardio and we'll be done. So you have to for sure like really set yourself up and plan it. I would say.
Yeah.
Another note that I have is, wait, are those all my tips? Those are all my tips. But one of the questions that we had when we posted on our Instagram was, what's the point of the last 90 days? And I would say, to me, I have my own point. I get the concept, I get the whole thing. I think every single person probably should have a little bit of their own point of like, what's the point of doing this? Like, is it really worth it? To me, I understand the concept. I can see why it's worth it. I say my point is so that I don't let the holidays and the end of the year just slip away, and that I don't be like, I want to have a lifestyle and a healthy lifestyle at that.
Mhm.
And if I'm not focused on it and like really remembering, it's so easy at the end of the year, like
Mhm.
to become a potato.
100%. I think my point for doing it is there's a lot of medical issues in my family, and I would like to have a healthy lifestyle to hopefully prolong these medical issues into coming into my life. And I definitely fucked around and found out what happens when you fuck around in my
Fuck around and
20s.
find out.
And I really am paying for it in my 30s. And so I just really want to be the healthiest, strongest version of me, so that if one of these diseases like ALS or something happens to me, I have a strong foundation that it won't overtake me so fast. So that's my point in doing it, which is probably way different than a lot of people's, but
Well, I think what I would say too is like, not only that, but I think we love to live life.
Mhm.
I like life is so hard and so frustrating and so
Mhm.
shitty a lot.
Yeah.
But it's also so good. And I have so many goals and you have so many goals. And like we really want to live life to the fullest. And the
Mhm.
only way we can prolong our life and live it to the fullest is
It's to
by
be
setting
healthy.
ourselves up for
Mhm.
success. And like it's proven that people that do shit like this are reaching their goals and they're achieving all of these things that they want to do and they're making the money and they're traveling and they're doing all the stuff that sets our heart on fire.
Mhm.
And I truly believe that these things help
Mhm.
create the foundation for me to be able to do that. If I'm not doing this stuff, I'm a lazy piece of shit and I'm not getting it done. I'm sitting here wallowing and judging and wishing that I was doing what everyone else was doing
Mhm.
or had what they had because I won't put in the work. Like it doesn't just come to you, you have to do it yourself.
Mhm.
Which brings me to what I'm going to do. For my last 90 days, my big thing that I've been focusing on is reading. I want to physically read books. I want to stop listening to them all the time. I haven't been really good at listening to them anyways. I've been really mentally like blocked, I would say. I don't have the capacity. So I want to focus on reading and I want to try and do it before bed. I want to get like me, Henley, and Wally to start reading before bed and get off of our phones. That's like a huge thing. So replacing our phones with reading before
Mhm.
bedtime, which brings me to one of the other ones on my list, which is disconnect. I'm trying, and we're not perfect at it, but around 8 p.m., putting our phones and not even being on them. Like we can get on it to set our alarm, we can get on it to check something really quick if we need to. Um, but like if my friends are texting me, all of that, like, and it feels so early, like 8 p.m. Like, because Henley was like, "What if someone needs you?" And I was like, I can see on my watch if it's important. If it's important, great. If it's like, but I'm going to disconnect socially. I'm going to be present and I'm going to start wrapping it up so that I can get better sleep. We can use our brains a little bit more and we can just like not have the stress of like phones in our
Mhm.
lives because
Mhm.
it's so bad. So those are two huge ones that play into each other. My other one that I'm going to do is moving my body and getting outside in nature and walking as much as I can, especially while the weather's still good.
Mhm.
Like I've been trying really hard to be intentional about like getting my steps in because that's what I realized with like traveling so much this year is like if I'm not intentional about walking, it's
You're
so hard
not
to get
gonna
your
do it.
steps in and it's so important. Like it helps so many things, your brain, your mind, your how you feel, like health wise, everything. Like it's so crucial and so easy to do. So I'm working on that. I think I have a pretty good routine with like working out, so I'm not super concerned with that. But on days that I would normally take a break, I'm gonna make sure I'm at least walking, especially on the treadmill. Like I have that feature.
Mhm.
If I don't have time in the morning because I slept in or whatever's been going on, I'm gonna try and like do a walk at lunch, whatever.
Mhm.
My next one is preparing my days and setting myself up for success. So before work ends, I'm setting up a list of like 3 to 4 things. This is what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to focus on these. And sometimes they're still moving. That's fine. But I'm also doing that in my personal life too. So like each night I'm kind of like, or on Sundays, like, what do we have this week? What can I do to prepare myself this weekend so that this week is easier? Making sure Wally's on the same page of like what the schedules are, making sure I communicate a little bit more about like this is what we have going on, this is where I need help, where I don't need help, what do you have, those types of things. Because if you don't, I just feel like work and personal every single day becomes chaos and you're like, I'm never getting to anything and I'm not. And then you start feeling unsupported by your partner. Like just so many things transpire by not doing those things. So that's another one. I'm getting back to my gratitude journal and having more time for reflection, which I think is part of that disconnect of like in the morning, making sure that I don't get straight on my phone sometimes. Like I'll just leave it, go clean the kitchen, be more present with myself is what I really think I want to focus on. And then starting to like work on stuff for my year next year and the goals I have there. So like my project I'm doing for school, I'm doing it for a goal that I have that I wanted to do this year, but it wasn't like the timing wasn't right. Next year I think it will be, but like focusing more on like what I can do that doesn't like consume so much of my time, but makes me start working towards those directions. And that's it.
Awesome. What I'm doing, so I'm doing a little program with a yoga friend that I have, and sorry, Tanya texted us. Okay, sorry, got distracted. So anyways, I'm in this program with a friend that I knew through yoga, and she is a weight loss coach, but it's not just weight loss, it's more of like a healthy lifestyle coach. So I have tasks every day in my app that I have to do. So not have to, but that you check off to do. Get to, yes. So one of them is mindfulness journal. So she gives you like a journal prompt every day that you can write. So today is a free write whatever you're wanting. So I use that also as like my gratitude time and time to write my 10 things. And then 5 to 10 minutes breathing or meditation, 7 to 9 hours of regular sleep, getting outside 3 times a day, hydration, so the water, and then plants and protein with every meal, and simple carbohydrates with every meal. So that's kind of where I am in the health way. I also am wanting to get off of my phone more because I do tend to fall down rabbit holes in my phone. So wanting to do that and just be more present with people in my life, more present with myself, with others, with work, with all the things, just being more present in general.
You just reminded me of one that I need to write it down so I don't forget. But this is another thing I've been working on is spending my time and energy where it's received and met. Like where it's reciprocal, where I don't feel like I'm overextending myself. Like I'm in a heavy phase right now of like, if this energy isn't serving me and this person's not serving me, like I can't keep doing it. Like I think I've reached a point where it's like I've been doing so much and trying so hard to like make everything feel okay, but it's like if this isn't serving me, I'm out. Like so if it's not serving me energy wise, reciprocal, I don't feel like they care about me as much as I care about them. They don't want to be like in my this level of friendship. Maybe they need to be bumped down to my D group, my C group, like whatever. I have to start doing that because I'm starting to get like I'm starting to like have my feelings hurt. I think I've decided, and that doesn't happen to me very often. But it's like a new thing for me where I'm like, oh, I actually don't like this. So that's a big one I'm focused on.
I like it.
Don't spend my energy where my energy is not wanted.
My tarot cards have been telling me the past, like, I don't even know, 2 years probably, that I need to focus more on my spiritual side. So being present with myself is me focusing on my spiritual side. So
no, I think you're in like I can see like a movement right now with you of like
it's weird, huh?
Yeah, I like it.
It's so weird. It creeps me out.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay, we have 2 things we still need to talk about. One, Taylor has a question about bras, and then we have an asking for a friend.
Okay, we have to hurry because you have like 5 minutes before you have to go to volleyball. Okay, first question is, I know somebody who teaches yoga without a bra, and she has big boobs. I need to know, and I need you guys to message me if you listen to this. Does it make you uncomfortable?
Would you feel uncomfortable
if your yoga teacher was not wearing a bra with giant boobs? And like, maybe I'm a prude. I think that I might be a prude, that I just think that that's inappropriate.
I think you and I are a bit prudish, which I actually appreciate that we're equal prudes because I think I'm more of a prude, but I would have a hard time if we weren't like kind of similar.
Yeah,
because if you were like super like tits out teaching yoga all the time, I'd be like, dude, I don't want your
it's like a thing in like that community to not wear bras, but hello, I have giant boobs and I wear my tightest sports bra because I don't know, like people are looking at me and I don't want my tits just hanging.
I don't want them jiggling around while you're teaching me yoga.
No, it's so strange.
Or if you're just having a conversation and you're just talking and they're just like
But
and then your nipples are getting hard. Like, I personally don't want to see that.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
not my vibe.
Yeah, so
I want to know what people think, though. I
I
want to
need
know if
to
they're
know.
into this or not.
I
If they've
really
figured
need
it
to
out.
know if I'm just a prude or like if it bothers you. If like, and it goes the same thing because like when I was in my yoga teacher certification, the teacher was like telling us like don't wear revealing clothing, like that makes people uncomfortable, and I totally agree with that. Like I don't want to be in a yoga class that somebody is like barely in any clothes. Like I don't know. I just don't think
It
it's
just feels
professional.
pervert
Yeah,
and
I don't think
sexual.
it's professional. I think it takes away from what yoga is. And I'm not down with it. And I just can't imagine not wearing a bra teaching yoga.
I think this is part of my problem is like I grew up obviously LDS and my grandma was like very firm on certain things. So I have a skewed version in my brain of like I think a lot of things are pervert. I think a lot of and not like actually most of the time I'm joking in like funsies, but there's times where I'm kind of like, oh, like why do you need this sexual energy or attention? Like can like we just not do those things? And part of it, I think, is how I grew up. Part of it is probably my own sexual trauma, but most of it comes from how I grew up and also me just being like, I don't really want to see that.
Yeah, I just think I don't know. I also know that like teaching yoga, like this is a job. It's not, I think a lot of people see it as like, this is just like a side hustle
That's like
thing.
me showing up to work without a bra.
Yeah, like this is
and
my
nipples
job
out.
and I want to be professional and I don't want to be inappropriate, you know?
Yeah.
And plus it opens you up to a lot of pervert things though, to be honest.
Again,
Like
maybe
men,
this is the LDS.
no, but like men are looking at you as you're teaching, like,
yeah,
you know, and not,
it's already a pretty
yeah,
sexual
it is,
sport,
it is,
to be honest.
it is. Yep, it is. So anyways,
Yeah.
I gotta know. I really just gotta know for my own
I also would like
morbid curiosity.
So Taylor will tell me, but please tell Taylor if you think this is weird. Okay, asking for a friend. Did you write it down?
Yes, I did.
Our asking for a friend is actually great because it ties into the last 90 days.
Why in the last 90 days does it feel like life is fucking with you so hard?
I would say it's probably not even just the last 90 days. I think life has already been fucking with you so hard. I think
you're just more aware of it towards the end of the year.
Towards the end of the year, you start having more stress because of the holidays. The nostalgia around the holidays can also start to be like an expectation you thought your life was going to be or how it's going to feel. I would say what you've done the entire year and the energy you have in the world and your relationships and everything else going on is exactly why it feels so hard. Like that's any time of the year though. It's not just now. It's probably feeling harder right now for various reasons, but every single thing you're doing every single day is a direct result of how you feel today and your future. So like what you're doing now, today, any day, what you did the whole last 9 months, that's exactly why it feels so hard right now. And like it's just piling and piling and piling because you're not doing anything about it. That's my stance. That's how I truly believe anything in life is. Like I know for a fact the second shit starts to feel hard, I'm like, fuck me. Like I should have been dealing with this forever ago.
Yeah.
I've been ignoring this, I've been covering it up, I've been pretending this wasn't happening, or I've been doing a bunch of stuff to keep busy so I don't have to think about this, or I've been wasting my money and now I'm stressed because the holidays are coming, I don't have money. Like everything that I'm doing is exactly why I'm stressed.
I agree with that actually.
My boundaries, all of it.
And it's a time of the year that really tests you financially, mentally, emotionally, because everybody's like, you have to see your family for the holidays. Well, what if you don't want to see your family? What if you have high boundaries with your family? Like, and then, you know, what if you don't have the extra finances with how crazy expensive the world is to buy gifts?
So expensive.
Like, it is a really hard time of the year. And I think everything just kind of comes to a head this last part of the year because of the holidays and because of all the expectations that are around it. And it sucks. Honestly, I'm not a big holiday season type of gal because it is hard.
I think I would say too, like the people you have around you are also part of it. If you don't have people or you do have people, like there's definitely been times where I don't feel like I have had like enough people in my life and I see people out doing stuff for the holidays or like enjoying fall or just like having the vibes that I wish I had. And then I'm like, why is this making me wish that I had this? And it's because I took people out of my life or whatever, you know? So it's like, if you don't have the right people in your life too, you're also going to start being like, fuck man, like this sucks right now. Like I want to be enjoying life and enjoying fall and enjoying Halloween and enjoying Thanksgiving and Christmas. But if I don't have any friends and I don't have any family or all of those things, it just starts to feel really terrible.
Isolating.
Yeah. And then you start to like be like even worse, like in the worst mood. So I don't know.
Yeah, anyways, that's our thoughts. Thanks you guys for listening to us today. Make sure that you're following us on Instagram, YouTube, and like, rate, review, share with a friend.
Don't buy the champagne. It sucks.
Yeah, please don't. It literally tastes like soap. So
But we're still drinking.
anyways, thanks you guys. Have a great week. We will talk to you next week when we're at the beach.
Also we're in a recession, so don't waste your alcohol anymore.
Yeah, drink the shitty champagne.
Everything's too expensive.
Okay, bye.